Hi everyone. Hello. I'm Liz. Welcome. I see everyone saying hi. I see Celia, Paige, Susan, Deborah, Nora, and Linda and Kathy. Hi everyone. Thank you so much for joining me today this afternoon. And as you guys, if more people come in, say hello, put where you're joining from in the chat. I am over in Louisville, Kentucky. It's quite a beautiful day here, nice and cool finally, and we are doing a hexagon cardie. So hi Lisa, the fun part about this cardie is you can kind of sort of change it up and modify it if you want. I know I'm pretty close up because I'm on my iPad, but this is, and you guys have the picture and you should have the written pattern. We're going to go over the written pattern, but this is the cardie. This is like quite a small one that would not fit me, but this is the one we used on the model. But of course, the sizes on the pattern go up to 3, 4X. So if you need a larger one, you can do that. So what I think I'm going to do is show you guys how to make the hexagons. Maybe talk a little bit about this sort of trend because it is kind of a trend. There's lots of hexagon cardies out there. And then maybe we can talk about seaming the two hexagons together. And then next class, which is going to be in a couple weeks, 2 weeks, we're going to do the adding length for the sleeve. We're going to do the cuffs, and we're going to add a little length to the body if you want. You don't have to if you want it to be cropped. And then we're going to add a nice pretty collar, and we'll do all that next class. Okay, so, and oh yeah, and if you guys have questions as we move along, feel free to pop them in the chat, and I'll talk about sizing too. Somebody had a question about ease. I'll talk about sizing and sort of the limitations to this type of garment, which there are limitations just because of the construction. So let's move over to my hand view and we'll work through the later. Okay, what we need, and then we'll talk about kind of the construction and the sizing. All right, so I am using, where can I Paige, the pattern should have been when you got the email for the class, but it's also in the chat. Yep, there you go. Nicoria put it in the chat. Okay, so we have Luxe Merino yarn. I happen to really love this yarn because it does have some merino in it, which makes it super soft and kind of like that nice bouncy merino feel to it, but it's also got some acrylic in there too, which is going to make it more sturdy and more affordable too. So we have a few colors here. You can go with any colors you want. I just chose these 4 because they were like sort of nice, like a nice fall palette, but you can go with any colors you want. You can do fewer stripes, more stripes, however you want to do it. You're just going to have to kind of make sure you buy enough for your size. So also I'm using my and yeah, I got the white. I'm using my 4.5 millimeter hook for the hexagon parts. When we move on to adding the border and like the collar and the cuffs, you're going to want to go down a hook size, so that way your cuff is, cinches in a bit and you don't have like a really wide cuff, because there's not a whole lot of shaping going on. And just some scissors. That's all we need for now. Okay. And you can also get your measuring tape, but you can also, so to measure your gauge and to measure the width as you get working, but you can also try it on as you go, sort of. It's a little hard because it's like a hexagon, but if you pin it up, you can try it on as you go. Okay, so let me just pull up the chat here and make sure pattern, good. Okay. So how this works is you make 2 hexagons, and I know I don't have a great view here. The hexagon has 6 sides. The hexagon starts right here. Now, if I pull this out like this, you can see that hexagon, and it has 6 sides and 6 corners. Okay, And all you have to do to make this type of cardigan is you start at this circle here, and you just work outwards, creating this larger and larger hexagon and changing color, obviously, for the stripes as you go. The hexagon is going to increase. So your stitches are increasing with every row that you do, and your increases are happening right at the corners here. So there's a chain 2 space, and you're working extra stitches in these corners at the chain 2 spaces, and that's going to create a larger and larger hexagon. Once your hexagon gets to the width that I've calculated for the pattern, then you're just going to fold it kind of like that, and that's going to become the bottom, like the armpit. And then what'll happen is a couple sides of the hexagon, this side here, and half of this side, and half, like sort of, it's confusing until you fold it up, will become like the sleeve. And then another part of that hexagon will become the body width here, this way. See, these are the corners of the hexagon. And then of course you've got the other hexagon doing the same exact thing on this side for the other sleeve. Now the problem with these cardigans is that because all of the sides of the hexagon are equal amount of stitches and rows, they are equal in width and length. So typically the sleeve of your sweater is going to be smaller than the body of your sweater, right? Because for obvious reasons. So the drawback to this is you're going to have to do some modification to get like a nice fit. Now I see a lot of people online, they just wear it with a giant sleeve, right? So you got a huge kind of wide sleeve, but that's a look, you know. And then you have the body is the same, so it'll fit your body. So you get to the point where it'll fit your body, and then however big the sleeve is, you just have to deal with that sleeve. Or you can stop when the sleeve is at a point where you like the width of the sleeve, and then you can, which is what I did, and then you can add rows here just to expand the width of the body only, and stopping you know, from creating any more circumference for the sleeve, right? So you're just kind of modifying that to add a little bit more width to the back, because obviously we have a bigger, wider back than we do you know, an arm, what that we'll need for an arm. So that's kind of basically how you have to modify this. So when you talk about things like ease and stuff like that, you are not going to have the same amount of ease. Like if you say, oh, I want a garment with 2 inches of ease. Now normally you would make your garment with 2 inches of ease around your arm circumference and 2 inches of ease around your bust or your chest circumference. And that would be appropriate. But your arm is going to be smaller. So obviously there's going to be less width total, right? Even if you include that 2 inches of extra ease. So that's why it's kind of like, you can't really say like, oh, I need this amount of ease or that amount of ease. Now, what I would recommend for this type of construction is get to the width that feels comfortable for your body. So let's say I want a width that's going to give me about 2 inches of ease for my whole bust circumference. And then, no, let me scratch that. Scratch what I said. Get to an ease that's comfortable for your arm. So if you don't mind a big wide sleeve, then get your sleeve to that width. But if you want your sleeve to be just like kind of only have 2 or 3 inches of ease, then stop there and then just add extra width at the body like I did here. Does that make sense? Sorry, I know that was a little convoluted. But yeah, that's kind of the thing with ease. That's why for these, it's helpful to kind of try it on as you go if you can. So let me just make sure I don't have any more questions. Yeah, but the ease is going to be not as, with this type of construction, it's not going to be as exact as you can make it with if you're just making like a regular, you know, drop shoulder or top down type sweater. So usually I go with 2 inches of ease just for kind of like a fit, but you can go with whatever ease you like. So let's head to the pattern. And we've got your what you need here. And I've got a few notes here about changing colors and stuff, but I'll go over all of that. And then you've got your gauge. So you want to make sure you get the correct gauge. So you should have 16 double crochet by 8 rounds. So for this pattern, what I would do, instead of really making it, usually I would say make a gauge swatch for a garment, but if you want to just start the hexagon, it's going to be a little swatch, and then you can check your gauge there. And if it's good, you can just keep going with the hexagon. You don't have to make like a separate swatch. So we're going to do that. Okay. We're going to start with this white color. And once we get a few rounds done, we will measure our gauge. I'll show you how to do that. So that way you know you're getting the correct gauge. Whenever you're doing a garment, you definitely want to get the correct gauge that's written in the pattern. If you're doing anything that needs to fit, you have to make sure you get the correct gauge. If you're doing like a blanket or something, it's not, you know, it's important if you want it to fit your bed and you want it to be the exact measurements. But if it's a little bigger or a little smaller, it's not quite as important. But gauge is always the #1 important thing for crochet or knitting, okay? So don't skip the gauge measuring. All right, so here we go. We're gonna just head right over to the hexagon. And we need to make 2 of these. So I think how I wrote it was do the same thing for the second hexagon. So let's just start with the first hexagon. We're going to do with C1, chain 4 and join to make a slip stitch. So I'm going to start with my, of course, slip knot on my hook. And then I'm going to do my chain 4 and join 1, 2, 3, 4. And when I join, that is just going to be the ring that we're going to work into. So I'm going to slip stitch to that first chain that I made to make my little ring. And this yarn is so nice to work with. You're going to, I think, really enjoy this. But if you want to substitute, you can do that too. Just make sure you get the right gauge. If you don't get the right, if you have like a thicker yarn and you still want to use it, you can do that. You're just going to have to do your modifications and like make your width a little, like maybe do less stripes or something like that. Okay, so then we're going to do a chain 4. So, oh no, I did that. So now we're on to round 1. So that's our ring. We're on to round 1. We're going to do a chain 3. That's going to count as my double crochet for these rounds. And then I'm going to put 2 double crochets into the ring. So chain 3, it's my double crochet. And then right into the center of that ring, I'm going to do 2 more double crochets. So 1 and 2. And then I'm going to do chain 2 and 3 double crochet into the ring 5 times. So see, I have my parentheses here. So everything that's within those parentheses, I want to do this number of times. So 5 times. Can you start with the magic circle? For this one, I would just stick with the chain 4 and slip stitch, Paula. You can, but sometimes it gets a little tight, and I usually almost always use a magic ring, but let me see what I did here. Yeah, you can probably go with either one for this one. But there's going to be a lot of stitches into that ring, so the chain 4 works out good. It doesn't make like a hole or anything. Sometimes it makes a hole. Audrey said, will there be a replay? Yes. These are always going to be on YouTube, so you can rewatch them if you need to. Okay, so now I'm going to do my chain 2. That's like the corner, and then 3 double crochet into that ring. And I want to do that a total of 5 times. And when I have beginners, I like to sort of explain the pattern because it's really a good skill to be able to read a pattern. It opens up more sort of projects for you, because sometimes just watching videos is, you know, you're kind of limited with what you can create. So that was 2. Chain 2, 3 double crochet. It's going to be my 3rd time. Chain 2, 3 double crochet. That's number 4. 2, 3 double crochet. That's number 5. Okay, so now if I miscount, if I lost count, that's fine, because at the end here it tells me I need 18 double crochet and 6 chain 2 spaces. This right here is my ending stitch count. That's what I should have when I end this round. So okay, so now it says 5 times. I did that 5 times, chain 2, 3 double crochet, and now right after 5 times it tells me chain 2 and slip stitch to the 3rd chain of the beginning chain 3. So let me make sure I did that 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now I'm going to chain 2 and slip stitch to this beginning double crochet that I made. So that's 1, 2, and that's the 3rd chain right there, and that's just to join the round. And then I would count and make sure that I have the correct number of stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. And as you can see, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 chain 2 spaces. And now we move on to, and now once you get this, like it's just basically adding double crochets to each double crochets, and then adding corners to the corners. If you use, yeah, sometimes, yeah, so Pauline makes a good point that sometimes the magic ring comes apart because it causes a lot of stress under your armpit, and I've made several hexacardis and I always use the chain 4. Okay, so that's good to know. I guess I was on the right track. That I kind of I can see that logic, right? And also it makes it a little tight sometimes when you do a magic ring. That's why I always do a magic ring when I'm making like toys, because you want that, you know, kind of, you don't want any holes anywhere. But if you're doing something like a garment, you don't want a lot of stress on the sort of movement areas. Yeah, so that's why we're gonna stick with the chain 4. It's usually easier too. I find that a lot of beginners are like, oh, I don't know how to do a magic ring. It's one of those things that I have taught and takes time to learn how to do it. Okay, so now we're on to round 2. And I'm just gonna chain up 3. This is like a super easy repeat, because there's nothing else happening except for double crochets and corners. And now that I've got my little star here, and that's the beginning of my little set of instructions, it tells me to double crochet in each double crochet to the next chain 2 space. So that just means double crochet in each stitch until you get to this chain 2 space, right? So I've got a double crochet here. I'm going to double crochet into that, and then another one here, and I'm going to double crochet into that. And now, okay, well, I'm at the chain 2 space now. So now what does it tell me to do? It tells me that I need to do all of this stuff, which is between the 2 parentheses, in that chain 2 space, right? So I need to put 2 double crochets, a chain 2, and 2 double crochets into the chain 2 space. And then it tells me, oh, you made a corner, okay? So 2 double crochets, chain 2, and 2 more double crochets. I've made a few hexagon cardis, but to be honest, I haven't really worn them. So I don't know about that stress, but that makes total sense when you hear it out loud. Okay, repeat from star. Okay, and now it says repeat. So we did this, we did from here to here. And then I've got this little semicolon, and then it tells me to repeat from the star. Here's the star around. So all I want to do is just keep doing everything that's between the star and the semicolon around the whole hexagon. So, and that all that was double crochet in each double crochet, which is what I'm doing until I get to another chain 2 space. Here's another chain 2 space. And then I make a corner in there, which is always going to be 2 double crochets, a chain 2, and 2 more double crochets, all into that same chain 2 corner space. And now I have 3 double crochets, so I'm going to double crochet in each double crochet until I get to the next chain 2 corner space, which is right here. And then once I get to the chain 2 corner space, I make a new corner, 2 double crochet, chain 2, and 2 double crochet into that corner. It's like super repetitive. Now the same thing, double crochet in each double crochet until I get to the next chain 2 corner space, which is right here. So as you continue doing this, you're going to have basically the same sort of structure with each round. You're just going to have more double crochets between the corner spaces. So you're always going to have 6 corner spaces. You're never going to have more than 6 corner spaces, but you're always going to end up increasing the double crochets that are between those corner spaces. And that's what's going to make the hexagon expand flat. And then now, okay, so let's see what, let me go back to this instruction here. It says repeat from star around, slip stitch to 3rd chain of beginning chain 3. Okay, so when it says repeat from star around, that means what I did should take me to the very end of the round. Okay, so now I need to get to the last chain 2 corner space, which is right here. And that's the last bit of instructions. So double crochet in each double crochet until you get to the chain 2 corner space, which is right here, and then make a corner in there. So that's 2 double crochets, chain 2, and 2 double crochets in that very last corner. And now I've worked all the stitches, and then it says slip stitch to the 3rd chain of the beginning chain 3 to join. Here's the beginning chain 3. 1, 2, and that's the 3rd chain. So I'm just going to slip stitch to join that round. Guys with me? All right. You can see it's already in the shape of a hexagon. Okay, so we did round 2. Let's do round 3. And we're still in the same color because it hasn't told me anything about changing colors yet. So we started with C1 and we're continuing with C1 until the pattern says so, right? So chain 3, double crochet in each double crochet to the next chain 2 space, 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet in the chain 2 space, corner made. So this is kind of the same as this one, but it's a little bit different. So let's just work around just like we did. And then we'll see what it tells us to do at the end. So chain 3, I'm going to double crochet in each of these double crochets. Oh, my foot is totally asleep. Okay. So double crochet. Now you can see there's more here, right? So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 double crochets until you get to the corner. Now I'm at the corner. Same thing we did last round. 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet, all into that same chain 2 space. And now I'm going to double crochet in all these double crochets across. So 1, you don't have to count them. You just have to make sure you work one double crochet into each of those double crochets. Don't skip any. But if you want to count, you can do that too. But as long as you're working 1 stitch into each stitch and creating your corners, you can kind of just, you know, do that like watch TV while you crochet type of crochet, where you don't have to be constantly counting. That might be why people like these cardigans, because once you get going, it's just kind of like the same thing over and over as you expand your hexagon out. And you don't really have to count that much. So I'm just working one double crochet into each double crochet. And then after this round, we're going to change colors. I'll show you how we do that. Here's my corner space. I'm making a corner space. 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet. And now double crochet in each one of these double crochets. Okay, I'm at my corner space again. 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet in that corner space. Now let me just point something out. See how I put like more stitches in there, so it's a little crowded in that chain 2 space. Here's a double crochet that sometimes those stitches will want to cover it up. So don't accidentally skip that one. That one needs to be worked into. So make sure if it's getting a little crowded there, just make sure you work all those double crochets and you don't accidentally skip one that might be sort of hidden a little bit by the corner. I'm telling you guys, this yarn is like so soft and nice. I love it. Just that little tiny bit of merino gives it such a nice, like, wool feeling, you know? Okay, each double crochet. And now I'm at my corner. 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet, and I'm going to double crochet across all of these. Actually, let me go back to here. So it says repeat from start until 6 corners are made. Okay, let's see if I made 6 corners. This is the round I'm on, right here. So I made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let me just go across until I've made 6 corners. This wrapped up with her. Okay, now I'm going to make my 6th corner. 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet. So now you can see why it's telling me to make 6 corners, because now I'm at the end here and I have some more stitches left, but I don't need to make any more corners because we only need 6, right? So 6 corners are made, and then it just says, okay, double crochet in each remaining double crochet, and then slip stitch to the 3rd chain. So whatever you have remaining after you've made all your corners, because now we're going to start like the join in the beginning of the round is kind of going to be like in the center of this side of the hexagon. It's not going to be like in a corner or whatever. And now we're going to do double crochet in each remaining double crochet, there was only 2. And now I'm going to slip stitch 1, 2, 3 to the 3rd chain of the beginning chain 3. And then it tells me to cut this color. Let's see. Luxe is my favorite. Paige said Luxe is my favorite knit and crochet yarn. I think it's one of my favorites too. The other cool thing is there is so much in this skein. There's like 410 yards. That's a lot of yarn. I mean, it's like a lightweight. It's not worsted, so it's not going to make, you know, it's not going to be super thick or whatever, but you get a lot out of this skein, and it's really nice quality yarn. So yeah, it's one of my faves too. Okay, I'll try to slow down a little bit, but here we we're doing the same thing. It's very repetitive, so it might seem a little confusing, but once you get it, you're going to get it. No problem, trust me. So here's my little hexagon. It's going to kind of wrinkle like this. That's perfectly fine because that's not going to happen once we fold it. But it tells me to fasten off, and we're going to change colors. So you can join, you can do like the traditional. So I joined with a slip stitch, and then I cut my yarn, and then some people will just tell you, okay, pull this up like that, or some people will do like the chain fasten off, like that one, that deal. I'm sure you've seen probably a lot of that. I usually don't do that because I don't like it, but you can if you want. Or you can do slip stitch and then just pull this up without doing the chain, but you still have kind of like a little notch there, or whatever you want to call it. So there is one other way we can do this, which I'll show you. So let's say we're at the end of the round, and instead of slip stitching at this point, what I like to do is I'll just not attach it yet, so don't do that join yet, and then I'll pull this yarn out, and then I get my tapestry needle, my yarn needle. These are so blunt. Okay, well, this will work. And put this in here. This might not matter that much with, with this pattern because of where we're going to join the next color. But if you want to make a nice clean join, so then I would go like, here's the 1, 2, here's the third chain. So I'm going to go under like that. So I'm under both strands, or both the front loop and the back loop of that chain, and then pull that through this way. And then I'm going to come in from like the top and go into the center of the top of this stitch right here, like that. And pull that through. And when you pull it through, it makes a nice clean join. So you don't have any notch or anything at all. You can't even really tell where the join is. See? That's just a fun trick, I guess, if you don't already know about that. And then you're going to just take this and kind of weave it in so you can cut that tail and it doesn't go anywhere. So just going to zigzag it through. There's not really, it doesn't matter where it goes in. When you're weaving in ends, you just want to get them woven in so you don't see them anymore and they don't come out, and they almost never do. I've never had an end come out. So now that's kind of woven in. It's not really going anywhere, and then I'll cut it there. And then you would do the same thing to this beginning end that we had. So now we have a nice hexagon. So let's see, what time is it here? Okay, so we still have plenty of time. We're going to do a few more rounds in another color, and then I'll have a big enough hexagon that I can kind of show you how it folds and how you attach the two, okay? Excuse me. So Paige said each round should have 6 sides. Correct. Each, it will always have 6 sides. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, even if they're a little wrinkled, and it will always have 6 corners. So 2, 4, 6 corners. That's always going to remain the same. The only thing that is increasing is the number of double crochets between the 2 corners. That's why it's like you almost don't even have to count, because you're just adding a crochet or a double crochet into each double crochet. But you can count if you want. I think I did the, yeah, I did the stitch counts here. So see, in round 3, I should have 66 double crochets if I wanted to count all these double crochets. Now, once it gets really big, you're probably not going to feel like counting that much, but you'll be able to tell if you've missed a stitch somewhere. But as long as you put 1 double crochet in each double crochet, and as long as you create that corner with each corner, you'll be on the right track. So let's move up to round 4. And it says I want to join C2 with a standing double crochet. Oh, it says avocado. All right, we'll use avocado. At the join. So now you can do the standing double crochet. Now I made that nice join. I don't even know where my join is. Here it is. So we're going to add the double crochet right here. You can do the standing double crochet, but if you don't like that, you can just join a new color like you normally would, where we, instead of fastening off right there, you can just join a new color, like slip stitch it in. But you are going to have to cut between the colors because there's too many, the stripes are too big to carry the yarn up. You would see the strand there, right? So to make a standing stitch, I'm going to add a slip. I'm going to put the slip knot on my hook. And for a double crochet, I'm going to do a yarn over like that. And then just keep that on your hook. And you can hold it in place so it doesn't go anywhere. And now here's where I joined right here. I'm going to insert my hook under the 2 loops of the stitch. And now I've set myself up to just make a double crochet right from here. So you don't have to do the slip stitch chain 3, right? So I'm going to yarn over, pull that loop through. And now I have 3 loops on my hook. I'm going to yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. And then I've made a standing double crochet. That's just something that I like to do. If you hate it, you don't have to do that. You can do like the usual, which is join with a slip stitch and chain up 3. Okay, either way, you've got your stitch there. But I like to do a standing double crochet. It's just a personal preference. Okay, so yarn over, hold that there, go under both of the loops, and then yarn over. You're kind of ready to do the double crochet. So yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And so now it says, I've got my little star, double crochet in each double crochet to the next chain 2 space. Okay, so for those of you who are a little lost, we're just double crocheting in each one of these double crochets. So now at this point, I would probably count. I think this is the one I worked into. Yeah, 1. So I have my first one. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And then I'm at my corner. And then I'll have this 1, 2, 3, 4 here. So that's 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, so I should have 11 double crochets and a corner. But you don't have to count. I just wanted to count because I started a new color to make sure that I went in the right spot there. So now here's my corner. Same thing we did before. 2 double crochets. Oops. See that corner space? We're going into there. So 1, 2 double crochets, chain 2, and then 2 more double crochets in that same space. 1 and 2. Okay, now all I have to do is work across these double crochets. Don't forget this one. So 1 double crochet into each double crochet across. Here's the tops of my stitches. Of course, I'm going under both loops. With a double crochet, you always go under both loops unless your pattern instructs you to do something different. And I'm just working 1 double crochet into each of these double crochets from the previous round. Okay, and then another corner. So 1, 2, chain 2, 1, 2 in the corner, and then double crochet across. When do you check? Oh, Susan, thank you for reminding me. I think probably around the 4th round would be a good place to check the gauge so we could get a full like 4 inches of width to measure. So yeah, so we'll do that as soon as we're done with this round. Thank you for reminding me. So I'm just double crocheting in each double crochet here. And then I've gotten to my corner. So 2 double crochets, chain 2, and 2 more in the corner. I know I'm going fast, but all I'm doing is putting a double crochet in each double crochet. So if you're new, it's actually pretty good practice for you because you're going to get like really good at double crochets. Because you're not doing anything fancy or lacy or post stitches, or we're just working in rounds instead of rows. And we are putting 1 double crochet into each double crochet across, and then a corner in each corner. We're at a corner, and we're going to do a corner in there. Remember, the corner is 2 double crochets, chain 2, and 2 double crochets. And once we get through this this round in the avocado color, we'll stop and check our gauge. So double crochet across, and then we'll talk about how this comes together. I'm at a corner, so 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet in that corner.
Hi, Liz.
Hey.
Sarah, does it need to be able to lay flat?
No, it's not going to lay flat, Sarah. I mean, we'll flatten it a little bit to get the gauge, but it's never going to be flat. And I'll show you why. Let me just get through this round. So now I did my corners, and now it says repeat from start until 6 corners are made, kind of just like what we did on round 3, and then double crochet in each remaining double crochet and then join. So we did, we're going to make this last corner, and that'll be 6. 1, 2, and if you're feeling like not confident, just stop after every round and count your corners. Make sure you have 6, and then you can, I'm going to double crochet in each of these double crochets that remains, and then this is the beginning of the round, right? So each remaining double crochet, and then I'm back to the beginning of the round. But yeah, if you're not feeling confident, just stop and count your corners. Make sure that you have 6 corners for every round, because here, see, this is kind of like where it joins. It might look a little wonky. So yeah, just count and make sure. I'm going to join with a slip stitch in the top of this double crochet, just like that. Pull that up so I don't lose it. And I'll say, okay, I'm going to count my corners. See, it's always going to be curling like this. It's never going to lay flat, but you can still count your corners. So here's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And if you want to put a marker here, you can put a stitch marker to mark the beginning of the round if you need to. You can maybe put one in one of the corners so you can keep count, you know, whatever makes you feel, or whatever helps you to keep on track. And then kind of just take like a glance at it. Like if you see, looks like something's missing here, like this looks like, you know, you'll notice like if there's a gap or something like that, but it looks pretty good. It looks like there's a double crochet in each double crochet. It looks like I've got my corners right, and it's curled up, which is exactly how it's supposed to be. So now what I want to do is just find one of these sides. Now, usually a gauge, you know, you're going to want like a kind of a bigger piece. So you can work a few more rounds, but just to get a check so you don't like work too much and then have to rip back a lot, you can try measuring. This is not going to be 4 inches, but let's try doing 2 inches. Okay, so let's say I've got an, I always measure from the 2 and the 3. I don't use the 1 because it's got this little tab there. So let's go like this, right? And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to count how many double crochets I have in between this line and this line, right? So 1 inch and another inch. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then I'd say that's 10. So now if I look here, it says I should have 16 double crochets, and that will equal 4 inches, right? So if 16 double crochets equals 4 inches, that means 8 double crochets equals 2 inches. And I just measured, I have 10 double crochets. So that is too much, right? So now if I stretched out a little bit, let's see what happens. It's a little hard because this is kind of too small of a piece to get a real good gauge measurement. Let's try measuring the green one. Now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. See, that's about 9, which is still a little bit too few stitches. So you can keep going, maybe do a few more rows. But if you want to, or you could, and then see if you kind of like loosen up a little bit. Like I said, this is kind of a small piece to be measuring a real good accurate gauge. It might just be a little inaccurate because I'm measuring only 2 small inches. I might need to just keep going and try again. But if I really feel like my gauge is totally off and I have way too few stitches within that 2 inches, then I would just go up from a 4.5 to a 5. So if you have too many stitches, you go up a hook size. If you have too few stitches, you go down a hook size. Yeah, so like I said, it's hard to measure because we got a very small piece and you have to lay it flat and kind of get rid of these little corners to measure a nice flat piece in your gauge. So at this point, I would probably just keep going with the way I'm going and then measure it again in a couple more rows. And if it's off by like 1 or 2 stitches for this particular project, I'm not gonna worry about it that much. I'm just gonna kind of measure at the end and see, because you can always, you know, do one less round or one more round. You know, it doesn't have to be totally, you can modify it a little bit. If you feel like you've gotten the hexagons and you're like, this is way too like short, or this is way too not wide enough on the back, you can just add an extra row. And I wouldn't normally say that, but I am saying that for these kind of cardigans because of the construction and what we talked about earlier with the sleeve being really wide. Okay, so let me show you, now that we have this hexagon, it's a very small hexagon. As you keep going, what you're going to do is keep making these rounds as we have been. So you're going to go through round 5 and 6, 7 and 9, and it tells you where to change the colors, but basically you're changing colors every 3 rounds. So you're just doing that. And then when you get to the smallest size, when you get here, you're going to stop at round 16. If you're doing size extra small, you're going to stop the hexagon at round 16, and you're going to move on to this back section where we add a little bit of width to the back. If you're making one of the larger sizes, these 3 sizes, so medium, large, 1X, 1, 2X, 3, 4X. See how I didn't do like, normally I would do one instruction for each size, but I had to kind of combine these. And that's, again, just the nature of this type of construction. You cannot really do a whole lot about the fact that the circumference of the sleeve is going to be the same as the sort of width of the body. So that's why we had to kind of combine sizes. So there's going to be a lot of ease, which is fine. That's kind of the style. And then you're going to do, so if you're doing one of these sizes, any of these sizes, you're going to keep doing a few more rounds, continue as established. So just like we did, you're going to do like, so for size medium, large, you're going to do 2 more rounds, 17 and 18. For size 1X, 2X, you're going to do 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, and 22. And for this size, you're going to do 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. You see how that works? And then you're going to make sure you follow the striping sequence. And then everybody will get to the back part, okay? And then I think next time we're going to go through the back. So let's pretend we've gotten to here. And it says the sleeve width is now established. The following 3 rows will be worked along the back body, adding to the total bust circumference. Fold the right half hexagon so that the right sides are facing out and right back, front, and sleeves are now established. Piece should resemble an upside down L. So let me fold the right half hexagon. So let me show you that. So once you start seaming it together, it's going to matter. The right half and the left half is going to be important. So let's say this is all done. What you would do is just take this and then you just fold it like an L, like that. Does that make sense? That's why it never lays perfectly flat, because once you fold it like that, it lays perfectly flat the way it should, which is like this. So now, as you can see, let's pretend this is a little baby sweater. Put it this way, so it's an upside down L. This is the sleeve. This is the body. Okay. What's going to happen is, you see what I mean by the sleeve width is the same as the body width, but obviously you need less circumference around your arm than you do around your body, half the body width. So then we would have this piece, and then we would have, this one's too small, but we would have the other piece going this direction, and they're going to be obviously the same size, right? So one size would be, this is the right half, this is the left half. And the way you would do that is like, let's take this piece and put it up to your body. Just like put it up to your body. That's the right half of my body. I know it's probably even more confusing because the camera is probably mirrored or something, but this is the right side of my body. So even though it's laying flat here, it looks like it's on the left. If I put this on my body, this is the right half of my body. So this is the right half of the cardigan, if that makes sense. This is the front, and this is the back. Does that make sense? This is the front of the sleeve. This is the back of the sleeve. So when you seam it, you're going to attach, you're going to seam from here to here, let's say. And then that's going to make a sleeve, right? We're going to put a cuff there. That's going to be the sleeve. And then here, we're not going to seam the front because that's going to be the open cardigan, but we are going to seam the other piece back here. So once you make the 2 hexagons, it is going to matter which part is the right half of your body and which part is the left half of your body. Now, what you can do, you can follow the pattern As long as your gauge is pretty on, it's going to fit fine. But you can also, if you get your hexagon to a certain, you know, what would you call it, diameter, then you can fold it like this and look at it and be like, okay, is this going to fit like half my body? And we're going to add a few rows here too. You can look at it and say, okay, this arm looks like this is a good arm circumference for me. So like maybe pin it here, pin, and then put your arm in and be like, okay, that fits good. It's like a little loose. It's whatever. It's not too tight. It's not too loose. If it's like way too wide and huge and you don't like it, just rip back a few rounds. If it's, you know, if it's still small, keep going. Okay. And then what we're going to do is once you get the sleeve to where it should be, you're going to add some rows right here. Right. So we're just going to attach the yarn here and then add rows, no longer rounds. And the rows are going to go from here to here. And then we're going to go turn, go up to here, turn, go down to here. And that is going to make the back bigger. So we're going to have kind of like an expansion of the back. Right? And then we can add a collar here and the collar here. So the front will have a little bit more width as well. And the sleeve will be a good width. So let me show you on the, where did I put the big one? Now, what a lot of people do too is they just stop right here. They don't do any type of modifications. They just say, okay, I got a short sleeve and I got this, you know, this circumference is the way I want for the body, but you're going to have a wide sleeve and it's going to be a short sleeve. And then you just seam the two pieces together in the back. Boom, that's it, right? Just seam it right here across the back and then right here across the tops of both of the sleeves because the sides are already one piece. Let's see, show you here. So if you look at this, you can see that I have one cardigan. See, here's my corners. I mean, one hexagon, and then here's my other one. This is the back. So you can see that I added a few rows, but when I added the rows, I only added them from one corner to the other corner. And I only added them to the back because you don't want to add them to the front because the front we're going to add the collar, right? And then same with the sleeve. So at the sleeve, this is where my hexagon stopped, but I wanted it to be long sleeve. So I just added some rounds. So I added a double crochet and then I worked around and around and around and around. And I did some decreases too, which we can do that next time, just so it will kind of go down, just so it's not too wide and there's a little bit of decreasing for the cuff. Does that make sense? So once you do your two hexagons, you have to make sure that once you start seaming things together and adding for width, that you separate your right side of your body and the left side of the body. And you can use markers to do that if you want, but it's helpful just to keep it folded in that L shape, right? So here's that L shape, that upside down L. So does that make sense, you guys? So what I'll do is next time I'll make I'll work a few more rounds of this one that we started. And that way I'll have two pieces and I'll make like a baby size and make it a little bit bigger. So once we start adding the back width, you can kind of get a better visual of how that's done. And then we'll seam up the sides and hopefully add as much as we can for the cuffs and the collar. So what you guys can do in the next 2 weeks is just work the hexagons up to your size, just as it is in the pattern, and then fold it like an L and put it on your arm and see if you think that that's going to fit. If you think it's like, like, I don't like this, just, you know, you can modify it a little bit. But if you think it's gonna work out, and you just need a little bit more width at the back, then, you know, just do two hexagons. This one's only on the right one, and then I think at the end it just says like probably left back, do the same. Yeah, so if you look ahead, it says, where's my left back here? Right back. Join the back. Oh, I think this one. I think I printed the wrong one. Because I know when we look at your pattern, see if you guys have the left back looks like it's missing something. Hopefully I just printed the wrong one, because I had two versions. I know I had two versions on my computer. When we did the layout, she was missing some stuff. So I'm struggling with patience. I assume the back should, for the back, should you width on both sides of just one and join. So what I'm going to tell you to do, I'm going to look at this pattern and make sure this is the right one, because there should be some more instructions for the left part. But basically the left is just make the hexagon exactly as we did the right. There might just be something missing. So the hexagon is going to be just as we did it up to here. So stop here, but make two of these. So make two hexagons. And then once we get to the adding, then we're going to have to differentiate between the two, but they're going to be exactly the same until you get to this section here. So work up to this section, but make two of these. So make this twice. So you have two hexagons like that. And then when we come back next time, we'll put it all together. Okay. So Lisa said, for the back, should you width on both? Oh yeah. So I think you're asking if when we get to the back, are we going to add width on both hexagons? And yes, we're going to add width on both hexagons. You can kind of tell here. So here's my corner. And then I think for a size extra small, I only added 2 rows, but I added 1 row on this side of this hexagon, and then I added 1 row on this side of this hexagon. So see what I mean about how you need to make sure you keep your right and your left side straight, because when you're working in crochet, you're always working from the right to the left. So if I want to join my yarn here, I'm going to go from right to left, and then I'm going to do another row this way to this way. But on this side, I'm going to have to start somewhere else to keep my right sides facing. So I'm going to have to start here. So go from kind of like the top to the bottom, and then the bottom to the top. Does that make sense? But on this side, I started from the bottom to the top, and then the top to the bottom. Just so you keep just so everything lines up the right way, and the right sides are always facing. Because see, the wrong side is always going to look a little bit different than the right side when you're working in rounds. This is the wrong side. You see how my stitches look different? This is the right side. This is what the stitches look like on the right side when you're working in rounds. Now, if I screwed it up, I would have one side of my cardigan that the stitches look like this, and one side the stitches look like this. See, this is the wrong side of the stitches. This is the right side. Can you see the difference? There's definitely a difference, and you don't want to you don't want to do that. You want to make sure your right sides are facing out, if that makes sense. So Paige said, I'm struggling with placing my stitches in the correct space. That's okay. That is, look. Now, where was I here? Okay. I'm going to show you close up so you can see. This is a double crochet here. This is the front of the stitch, right? So I'm looking at it from flat. If you turn your piece this way and you look at it from kind of like the top down, you see where my hook is? Those are the 2 loops of this stitch, the front loop and the back loop. Each stitch has a front loop and a back loop. And if you look at it, it looks like a maybe a V or a little chain or even, I don't know, a loop. But that's what you have to just kind of train your eye to see, are these 2 loops. And each time you go into a stitch, you're going under those 2 loops. These look the same with single crochets and half double crochets. It's always those 2 loops. So when you work into a stitch, here's my loop on my hook. I'm going to yarn over and I'm going under those 2 loops. That's 1 stitch. Double crochet. When I get to the next round, those 2 loops are what I'm going to go under for the next round. 2 loops. See, it just looks like little V's maybe. And this is not like I'm, you know, teaching you something amazing here. This is like, this just comes with practice. If you're not familiar with what they look like, it's harder to train your eye to see them and take them and, you know, have them stand out. But at a point, it's going to be like a no-brainer, like you're not even going to think about it. And here's the chain 2 space. You can tell it's a chain 2 space because there's a long stitch here, a long stitch here, and then there's chains right here, which created a larger space right here. And then once I see that chain 2 space, I just work the double crochets into that chain 2 space. And those are the 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets. And now, see, this gets stretched out a little bit. This double crochet gets stretched out a little bit. It's going to look a little different, but it's still right there. You'll know that's a double crochet. So if you're having trouble seeing the stitches, I would recommend that you count your stitches with every single round. And after you work more and more rounds, you'll see that it'll just get easier for you. It's just a matter of practicing, okay? I don't think using a light color, I mean, all these colors are easy to see the stitches. And this Paige, so Paige is saying I should use a light colored yarn. The only thing you really shouldn't use is black. You can see the stitches with the green and with this one and with the white. If you want to maybe do a practice with like the white first, or any kind of, you know, yellow, something like this, maybe just do a practice row, double crochet, double crochet, double crochet. As long as you're not using black or like super dark navy blue, I don't think that it's the color that's causing you a forest green color. Well, you should be able to see okay in forest green. If you're having that much trouble, I would go under like a really well lit area and see. But if you think it's going to make that much of a difference, try going with a lighter color. I think it's probably, you just need to give it a little more practice. I think it just comes with time, you know. Forest green is pretty dark. So if you move into a really well lit area and you still feel like you're having trouble seeing those sort of V's, then yeah, you can definitely, oh yeah, well, Paige, if you've been crocheting for 18 years, I'm not, then maybe it is the color. Then maybe your color is just too dark, or maybe you need new glasses like me. I always need new glasses every year. Or maybe you need to use one of those like good spotlight thingies. I have one of those when I do my nails. It's like this clip thing, and you clip it to your desk, and it has a magnifying glass that has lights around it. And you can see really close up and really well lit. Yeah, so try that. If you're still struggling, forget the forest green. Just pick something lighter, because you don't want to have to be messing around with that for too long. Yeah. Okay, so how many packs of yarn should we buy for the medium? So for the medium, we need, so here's my pattern. I've got the medium and the large right here. So that's the second size, right? So I'm going to go up here and see how I have my parentheses. This is the first size. This is the second size. So for size medium, I would just take your highlighter and go like this. 1, 1, 1, 1. So you need one of each for the size medium. See what I mean? These really, you can make a lot out of these. So you only need 4 balls for the size medium to make a whole cardigan, which is pretty good because this yields a lot of yarn. So you can do a lot with these, and they're such a good price for being merino. I'm so impressed with this yarn. I love it. Yeah, so that's what you need. If you're do a hexagon like this, maybe do a couple more rounds and then measure your gauge when it's bigger and you have a bigger swatch to measure. If your gauge is pretty close, then or spot on, then just continue on. If it's way off, you need to probably change your hook size. But while I don't see you guys for the next 2 weeks, just make the 2 hexagons, as I said. So work up to your size, depending on which row it is. And then make 2 of those. And then next time we're gonna put them all together, okay? And let's see, do we have any other questions before we go? No other questions. So I'm gonna check this pattern too to make sure nothing's missing here, because I feel like there's a set of instructions missing. And if there is, I will get it updated on there and get it to you guys so you have it for next time. But in the meantime, you can definitely do the 2 hexagons because they just go to here before we get to the back. And I will try to get everything put together by next week so we can complete it. It's a pretty big project to do for 2 classes. So I know you guys are like being very patient with me, so I appreciate that. And since I don't have any more questions, thank you to everyone for being here. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your weekend, and I'll see you next time. And oh, if you want to rewatch this, it'll be on YouTube, okay? If you're having trouble doing the hexagon. But this is what it should look like once you fold it. Okay? Thanks, guys. Have a great weekend.